Trapped in an elevator with my female boss, I found myself in an unexpected situation that would ultimately propel my career forward. Welcome to Bad Boys channel, where we reveal true adultery stories with unexpected developments. If you find the video interesting, consider subscribing and liking it. Your support really aids the growth of our channel. Now let's embark on the journey into the story. Let us embark on a journey into the tale. For several years, I toiled away at the company, yet my career seemed to be trapped in a never-ending loop. Despite my relentless efforts and countless extra hours poured into my work, the elusive breakthrough to the next level remained just out of reach. The competition was fierce, and it seemed as though there was always someone else who shone brighter, had deeper connections, or simply enjoyed a stroke of luck that eluded me. Life had its ups and downs, and while I wasn't in despair, I wasn't exactly flourishing either. My heart yearned for something greater. Deep down, I felt a stirring of potential within me, yet the path ahead remained shrouded in uncertainty. Sophia, my boss, was a figure who commanded both respect and a hint of fear from everyone around her. In her mid-40s, she exuded sharpness and professionalism, her demeanor marked by an unwavering strictness. In the office, she kept her personal life tightly under wraps, leaving her colleagues in the dark about who she truly was beyond the confines of work. Whispers floated through the air as curious minds pondered her private world, yet the truth remained elusive, shrouded in mystery. There was an absence of a husband, no photographs graced her desk, and casual conversations about weekend plans were nowhere to be found. She poured her heart into her work, and she anticipated that same unwavering commitment from those around her. On a typical Wednesday evening, weariness enveloped me like a heavy cloak. As the clock ticked away and shadows grew long, I found myself alone in the quiet room, determined to wrap up my report while most had already taken their leave. As I gathered my things and made my way to the elevator, my mind was consumed with thoughts of returning home, indulging in a soothing hot shower, and perhaps enjoying a drink before surrendering to the embrace of sleep. As I entered the elevator, I found myself leaning against the wall, my fingers gently massaging my temples. Just as the doors were on the brink of sealing shut, in strode Sophia, a figure of unexpected arrival. "Lucas," she murmured, offering a gentle nod. "Mrs. Carter," I responded, my posture becoming more confident. With a soft thud, the doors closed and the elevator began its ascent. There we were, just the two of us, and I could sense the familiar tension that accompanied the solitude of being alone with a superior, particularly one as formidable as her. In the presence of Sophia, I often found myself at a loss, unsure of how to navigate the delicate dance of interaction. She carried herself with a certain distance, neither unkind nor warm in her demeanor. She was the type of leader who commanded respect, yet maintained an air of seriousness that kept the atmosphere professional. We glided through the stillness for a brief moment, and then, without warning, the elevator came to an abrupt halt. As the lights danced and dimmed, a heartbeat later, the world was swallowed by darkness. What on earth is happening? I whispered softly to myself. With an air of calm confidence, Sophia retrieved her phone and activated the flashlight. With a determined finger, she pressed a few buttons on the elevator panel, yet the silence lingered and nothing happened. With a heavy sigh, she pressed the emergency button. A voice, crackling like a fire in the hearth, emerged from the speaker. "A great darkness has descended upon the city as the power flickers out, leaving streets shrouded in silence. We understand the circumstances at hand, yet it may take some time before we can restore the system to its former glory. Patience is key, my friend. For what duration shall we wait?" Sophia inquired, her tone unwavering. "Perhaps an hour, or even more, as the minutes weave their tale." A tight knot began to twist in my stomach. Finding myself confined within a cramped metal box was far from my vision of enjoyment, particularly in the company of my boss. Though I didn't fear confined spaces, the sensation of being trapped, devoid of any control over my fate, stirred a disquieting feeling within me. Sophia let out another sigh, resting her back against the grates. With a gentle breath, I released the tension, seeking tranquility in the moment. What shall we embark on next? With a fleeting look in my direction, she shifted her gaze to her phone. We linger in anticipation. For a moment, we lingered in quietude, the air thick with unspoken words. The faint hum of the emergency light reached my ears, accompanied by the sporadic muffled sounds drifting in from beyond the shaft. Time unfurled like a tapestry, each moment weaving into the next. I shifted my weight from one foot to the other, a sense of restlessness stirring within me. "Well, my friend, do you believe this might stir the pot in any significant way?" I inquired merely to break the stillness that lingered around us. Sophia cast a glance my way, weighing the decision of whether to dive into a bit of small talk. At last, she spoke, "Perhaps not, yet I had a meeting in the morning that could require a change in plans." "Isn't that so?" I gave a slight nod, my throat clearing in a somewhat clumsy manner. A stretch of quiet lingers once more. "You appear a bit anxious," she remarked unexpectedly. I chuckled, though it felt somewhat strained. Well, it's certainly not an everyday occurrence to find yourself trapped in an elevator alongside your boss. With a quirk of her brow, she held her silence, leaving the air thick with unspoken words. I moved once more. "Do you ever feel that flutter of nerves?" In all of existence, there has never been a moment quite like this. For a fleeting moment, I believed she might let the question slip away into silence, but then, with a subtle shift, she tilted her head just so. Rarely. In her voice, there was a certain quality, a calmness and directness that transformed her words into something resembling a fact rather than just an opinion. "How delightful that must be," I murmured. Once more, her eyes found mine. "What stirs a sense of unease within you?" In that moment, I found myself pausing, rooted in place, as if time had woven a web around me, leaving me feeling ensnared. As the words slipped from my lips, I hadn't fully considered their weight, but in that instant, their truth struck me like a bolt of lightning. It was more than merely this elevator, it was the essence of my journey. The tale of my existence unfolds. She remained silent for a moment, her gaze fixed on me as if she were piecing together a puzzle. Then, to my astonishment, she gave a slight nod, as if she grasped my meaning perfectly, and for the first time since the elevator halted, a sense of freedom washed over me. The stillness in the elevator lingered, heavy and palpable. Once more, I glanced at my phone. Silence envelops the air, a void where connection once thrived. Sophia stood there, arms crossed, an air of calm confidence enveloping her as she patiently waited, seemingly untouched by the world around her. In the midst of it all, my mind was a relentless chatterbox. It wasn't merely the predicament of being trapped. It was as if fate had woven our paths together, binding us in an unbreakable bond. After a moment, I moved, seeking to ease the weight of the silence. "Ah, it seems you found yourself in a familiar scenario, haven't you?" Her eyes flickered in my direction. Once upon a time. I thought she would stop there, but then she caught me off guard. Once upon a time, I found myself in the vibrant world of college. Found myself trapped in a subway car for a long 2 hours. Amidst the chaos, while others rushed about in a frenzy, I remained seated, calmly observing the unfolding scene. I realized it was futile to expend energy on matters beyond my control. A sly grin crept across my face. "That resonates with you, doesn't it?" With a quirk of her brow, she held her silence, leaving the air thick with unspoken thoughts. I found myself propped against the wall, my gaze drawn upward to the flickering emergency light above. "It appears you possess a calm demeanor, one that doesn't easily succumb to panic." "I do not." With a gentle tilt of her head, she captured the moment. "You do indeed." "That's not quite how I see it," I whispered, despite the unmistakable tremor in my voice. She noticed the tension in you. And so, I let out a breath. Once in a while, life throws you a curveball, like finding yourself in a broken elevator, sharing a moment with your boss, just the two of you. That brought a faint smile to her lips, a rare sight indeed, for it was the first moment I had witnessed her expression shift from her usual seriousness. With a moment's pause, I gathered my thoughts before I spoke once more. "May I pose a question to you?" With a gentle nod, she acknowledged the moment. "What makes you hold your card so close to your chest?" "Well, it seems that the folks at the office aren't quite familiar with your story." Sophia cast her gaze upon me for a fleeting moment, then turned her eyes elsewhere. "For the simple reason that work is work. One's private life is a realm of its own. Indeed, even the most reserved souls occasionally reveal a fragment of their inner world." She wore a subtle smirk. "So tell me, Lucas, what's your tale? What tales do the folks at the office share about you?" As I pondered the matter, my mind wandered through the possibilities. Well, there's not really a whole lot to share, I suppose. Indeed. Once more, she turned her eyes toward me, her stare more piercing than before. "Your personal life remains a tale untold. kept close to your heart? What brings you to seek my thoughts? I ran my fingers along the nape of my neck, a valid observation indeed. With a soft sigh, she found solace against the wall across from her. However, if you truly seek the truth, you'll find that this path is much simpler. When others believe they understand you, they often have certain expectations in mind. A shadow crossed my face. Anticipate the unexpected? She paused, a moment of uncertainty hanging in the air. In that moment, she appeared to be weighing her words as if a silent battle was unfolding within her, contemplating whether to break the silence. She finally revealed that there have been those who believe they could take something from her. My success carries with it a sense of obligation, a call to share and be generous. Though she left it unspoken, the meaning was clear to me. I gave a slow, deliberate nod. What a vexing situation that is. She released a soft chuckle, though it lacked any trace of joy. If only you could glimpse the depths of it all. With a moment's pause, I gathered my thoughts before I spoke once more. Are you referring to the gentleman? She cast me a keen glance, yet it held no trace of anger, only a weary sort of amusement. In the company of many, for a fleeting moment, I pondered that thought. Sophia was not merely successful, she wielded power like a masterful storyteller weaving a tale of triumph. And I could observe how that strength led others to draw conclusions about her. Alas, I finally uttered, that is quite unfortunate. With a sly grin, she spoke with great finesse. A soft chuckle escaped my lips. What I'm expressing is that I understand. Often, individuals fail to recognize the true essence of who you are. Her gaze lingered on me once more, stretching out in time. To my astonishment, she gave a nod. Indeed, I shifted on my feet, sensing that I had just crossed an unseen threshold. I understand that as well, I replied. Well, it's not quite like that. Yet I toil endlessly, and still, it seems as though I'm standing still. It feels as though, no matter the path I take, I remain stuck in place. Sophia's expression took on a gentle warmth. So, you believe you are entitled to something greater? I simply shrugged my shoulders. It seems to me that I have truly earned this. A lengthy pause lingered in the air between us. In that moment, she uttered words that took me completely by surprise. Chances are you have indeed. In that fleeting moment, my eyelids fluttered shut and then opened again, as if the world around me paused for just a heartbeat. Hold on, what's happening? With a gentle breath, she released the air from her lungs. Your work has caught my attention. You are among the rare souls who truly dedicate themselves to the task at hand. Yet sometimes mere effort falls short. It is essential for the right individuals to take notice at the opportune moment. I let out a derisive laugh. So it's a twist of fate, is it? At times, she confessed. And at times, it's about discovering the art of distinction. That lingered in my mind, for that was precisely the challenge I faced. I blended into the background. I fulfilled my duties. With unwavering determination, I toiled diligently. Yet I never took any action that would render me unmissable. I parted my lips, ready to share another thought. Just as I was about to make my move, the elevator lights suddenly flickered back to life. In the blink of an eye, the motor came to life with a soft hum, and the car gave a little jolt before it began to glide forward once more. I released a breath I hadn't known was trapped within me. Sophia cast a quick look at her watch, the hands ticking away as moments slipped by. Well, she remarked, gently pushing away from the wall. It seems our delightful exchange has come to a close. I nodded, my mind weaving through the tapestry of her words. As the doors swung wide, she was the first to emerge into the world beyond. Just as I was about to catch up, she halted and turned her gaze back toward me. Reflect on my words, Lucas. And then she turned and walked away, leaving me there, a sense of newfound understanding washing over me. A moment that could truly transform it all. The elevator incident lingered in my mind. It wasn't merely the reality of our confinement. It was the exchange of words that held the magic. Sophia had never addressed me in such a manner before. Goodness, I couldn't believe she had ever addressed anyone in such a manner at her workplace. She carried herself with an unwavering demeanor, embodying strictness and professionalism, always focused on the task at hand. Yet in those 40 minutes trapped in the elevator, she transformed. And now, her words echoed in my mind, refusing to fade away. Chances are, You've truly deserved it." The echoes of those words lingered in my mind, swirling around like a haunting melody for days to come. I continued my tasks as I always did, yet an unseen change lingered in the air. I began to engage more actively in meetings, sharing my thoughts and contributions rather than remaining silent. I ensured that my ideas were not merely cast into the void, but truly listened to and appreciated. And then, as the clock ticked towards the end of the week, an even more surprising twist unfolded on that Friday afternoon. As I sat at my desk, diligently wrapping up a report, an email suddenly appeared in my inbox, capturing my attention. The subject line carried a certain simplicity to it. "Gather round, my friends, for a conversation awaits." The message came from Sophia. For just a fleeting moment, I paused, my finger hovering over the button before finally making the decision to click. "Lucas, should you find a moment after your workday, I invite you to swing by my office. Gather round, for I have a tale to share with you." Once upon a time, there was a girl named Sophia, and so it came to pass there are no details to share. There are no words to describe it, a straightforward and clear message, no frills attached. I settled into my chair, pondering all the intriguing possibilities of why she might seek a conversation with me. Have I made a mistake somewhere along the way? Did she handle our conversation in the elevator well? Or was this truly a tale of labor? Despite my best efforts to maintain my concentration throughout the day, it proved to be an insurmountable challenge. As the clock struck 6 and the office began to clear, my nerves were frayed and on edge. With a deep breath, I ventured toward Sophia's office, the anticipation swirling around me like a gentle breeze. The door remained shut, yet a warm glow spilled from beneath it. I rapped my knuckles against the door, 2 firm taps echoing in the stillness. "Step inside." With a gentle nudge, I swung the door wide and crossed the threshold into the unknown. She sat at her desk, her blazer discarded, presenting a side of herself that felt more approachable than the formidable leader I had always known. With a graceful wave of her hand, she beckoned to the chair opposite her. "Gather round." I certainly did. For a fleeting moment, silence enveloped her, words hanging in the air, unspoken. She observed me intently, as if unraveling a mystery hidden within. With a gentle recline in her chair, she began to weave her words. "This week, your involvement has truly shone through." In that moment, I found myself pausing, caught in a web of uncertainty. "Ah, indeed. It seems that way." With a gentle nod, she acknowledged. "Excellent. And that is the very reason I summoned you to this place." I adjusted my posture ever so slightly. "Very well then." With a soft sigh, she let out a breath and rhythmically drummed her fingers on the desk. I've been pondering our conversation in the elevator. It's a tale of relentless effort and the struggle to shine amidst the crowd. Silence enveloped the moment as I chose to remain still, allowing time to weave its own tale. Sometimes opportunities quietly linger in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves, Lucas. At times, the journey demands that you seize the reins and carve your own path. A subtle frown crossed my face. "What tale are you weaving?" With a gentle tilt of her head, she captured the moment. "There's a project on my plate, one that calls for additional hours and a bit more dedication." While it may not be an official promotion just yet, navigating this opportunity with skill could very well set you on the path to one. In that fleeting moment, my eyelids fluttered closed and then opened again. "Are you asking me to embrace additional responsibilities?" With a subtle smirk, she revealed a hint of mischief. "Ah, that's an intriguing perspective to consider. An alternative path lies before you, a chance to showcase your true potential." As I pondered over it, this was precisely the opportunity I had been yearning for, a chance to shine brightly. It was as if the universe had conspired to leave me with nothing else to occupy my time. With no partner or children to tie me down, I find myself free to dedicate more hours to my pursuits. I gave a knowing nod. With determination in my heart, I shall embark on this journey. Her expression brightened at my response. "Excellent." With a graceful motion, she extended her hand to the folder resting on her desk and gently nudged it in my direction. "Every detail is woven into this tapestry. Spend the weekend pondering it, and we shall converse on Monday." As I grasped it, I began to turn the pages, each one revealing a new glimpse into its world. It was a grand endeavor, far more expansive than anything I had ever tackled in the past. Yet it was precisely the sort of opportunity that held the potential to truly transform my career. I cast my gaze back towards Sophia. "I appreciate the chance you've given me." With a gentle nod, she acknowledged. Just as I was about to rise, she uttered something that took me by surprise. "Tomorrow morning, I have a little adventure in mind. I'm thinking of stopping by for a cup of coffee. If you find yourself with some time to spare, we would be delighted to have you with us." I paused for a brief moment. "Would you care for a cup of coffee?" "Ah, with Sophia, you say?" There I stood, caught in a web of uncertainty, pondering whether this was merely a professional engagement or if she was extending an invitation to something deeper, something more intimate. She must have sensed my uncertainty, for she gently remarked, "If you're occupied, there's no rush." I swiftly shook my head, a gesture filled with unspoken thoughts. "No, I'm free." She gave a small smile. "Very well then." At the stroke of 10 in the morning, that charming little cafe right across from the office. I rose to my feet with a nod. "I'll see you there." As I walked out of her office, my mind was spinning. This had transcended the realm of mere work. This was truly remarkable. And for the first time in a long while, I found myself adrift, uncertain of the path ahead. Sleep eluded me that night. The invitation to coffee held a promise beyond mere coffee. It seemed as though it was something entirely different, a mystery that eluded my grasp. Sophia had never extended an invitation for us to gather beyond the confines of our workplace before. And the way she presented it, relaxed and free of pressure, added to its importance in a profound way. As I stepped into the cafe on that Saturday morning, a swirl of curiosity and nerves danced within me. As soon as I entered the room, my eyes were drawn to Sophia without hesitation. In a cozy corner of the room, she sat, wrapped in a dark sweater that contrasted with her typical business attire. She appeared transformed, at ease. More like a relatable individual and less like an unapproachable authority figure. I drew near and she looked up, offering me a subtle nod. "Ah, you've arrived just when you were meant to." "How splendid!" A sly grin crept across my face. "Imagine arriving late and how that might cast a shadow on the first impression you wish to create." She chuckled, gesturing to the seat across from her. "Gather around." In that fleeting moment, silence enveloped us as we savored our coffee, each sip a shared pause in time. It felt strange being here with her in this moment. In the workplace, a distinct order reigned supreme. In this moment, it seemed as though everything was balanced. "I truly appreciate your presence," she finally remarked, gently placing her cup on the table. "Indeed," I responded. "To be honest, the invitation caught me off guard." She gazed at me intently for a moment. "Ah, Lucas, your dedication shines through like a beacon of perseverance. I understand that clearly. Yet, I can sense that you found yourself in a bit of a bind." I gave a slow, deliberate nod. "Indeed, that seems like a reasonable conclusion." With a soft sigh, she gazed out the window, lost in thought. "I can relate to that sentiment in ways you may not expect." A subtle frown creased my brow. "What about you?" She cast a glance over her shoulder, her eyes meeting mine. "You might think that my journey has been a smooth one." Yet I ascended through the ranks with little opposition. I gave a slight shrug. "Well, it seems you hold the reins here." She released a gentle chuckle. "Once upon a time there existed a being who simply was. But it wasn't easy. It took me years to get here. And even when I finally found my way, the battle didn't cease." I leaned forward slightly. "What are you trying to say?" With a moment's pause, she lifted her cup once more, savoring the warmth of the coffee as she took another sip. "When others gaze upon me, they perceive a figure of authority, strength. They think I stand alone, needing nothing from anyone." I gave a knowing nod. That was precisely the image I had of her while she was at work. Yet, in reality, she let out a breath. "There's a profound sense of solitude. No one truly notices my presence, Lucas." Not in the form of a person, simply a title. Words eluded me in that moment. It was strange hearing her speak so openly. What a revelation this was. A glimpse into a facet of Sophia I had never envisioned before. Once more, her gaze found its way to me. "That's the reason I chose to be truthful with you in the elevator. There's something about you that feels unique. In what way does it differ?" She inclined her head, a gesture full of curiosity, as if you truly paid attention, as if you only saw me as the one in charge. Yet, as an individual, I took a deep breath. Well, I suppose I never really envisioned you in any other light until that moment. Yet, when you revealed your heart, everything shifted. With a deliberate nod, she acknowledged the moment. That is the very reason I felt compelled to engage in this dialogue. It's not something I find myself doing frequently, Lucas, inviting others to share in your world. Yet you, she paused. I feel like I can talk to you. Something about the way she said that made my chest tighten. I cast my eyes upon my coffee. I understand, you see. With a quizzical lift of her brow, she expressed her intrigue. Do you really? I gave a slight nod. While it may not be the same, I understand the sensation of being unseen. To toil diligently and yet sense that your efforts go unnoticed by those around you. She took a moment to observe me closely. Your former partner. I felt a subtle tension rise within me. Indeed, in the elevator you spoke of her betrayal. I released a gentle sigh. Indeed, I thought we were building something real. Turns out I was just an option. Sophia's expression took on a gentle warmth. I apologize. I simply shrugged my shoulders. It was a long time ago. Even so, the pain remains unchanged. As I gazed upon her, I was taken aback by the genuine warmth that resonated in her voice. In that moment, there was only acceptance, no patronizing tone, simply grasping the essence. For a fleeting moment, we found ourselves enveloped in silence, the world around us fading away. Yet it was not a source of discomfort. In that moment, the silence wrapped around them like a warm embrace, a comforting presence that felt utterly secure. With a playful glint in her eyes, she lifted her cup once more, savoring the rich aroma, and a subtle smirk danced across her lips. Ah, let me weave you a tale about that project. A soft chuckle escaped my lips. Time to dive back into the fray. She inclined her head, a gesture full of curiosity. What is it that you seek? Did you really believe this was a date? A warm flush crept across my cheeks. Ah, I see. She let out a soft melodic laugh. Relax, Lucas, I'm just having a bit of fun with you. I let out a breath, my head shaking gently. Oh, you truly are a challenge, aren't you? With a gentle smile, she leaned in just a bit closer. However, I must say this experience did not bring me any joy. Our eyes locked in a moment of connection. Indeed. Same here. With a gentle nod, she acknowledged the moment. Excellent. After a moment of reflection, she suggested, perhaps we should embark on this adventure once more in the future. With a moment's pause, I finally gave a nod of agreement. Indeed. I would be delighted by that. Her expression reflected a sense of contentment with that response. And for the first time since I began my journey at the company, it dawned on me that Sophia was more than merely my superior. She was something beyond the ordinary, and I found myself pondering the true meaning of it all. Yet I was eager to uncover the truth. Several moons had drifted by since that fateful coffee rendezvous with Sophia. At work, the winds of change had blown in, subtle yet undeniable. I carried on with my duties, undeterred. Arrived right on schedule, I continued to pour my heart and soul into my endeavors, just as I always had. Yet at this moment, Sophia became aware. She began to draw me into a greater number of meetings, entrusting me with larger endeavors. She now seeks my thoughts on matters she would have overlooked in the past. It was more than just the promotion. Indeed, I had ascended within the company. What truly transformed was our perception of one another. Our coffee adventures began to unfold more frequently, and so the dinners began. On a fateful night, she invited me to her home. It was a night like no other, a night when the tides of fate turned. I recall the moment I stood at her doorstep, a sense of uncertainty washing over me, as if I had entered a realm I wasn't quite prepared to face. It wasn't quite nerves, not in the traditional sense. It felt as though a realization washed over me, a sense that this moment was unlike any other. She possessed a uniqueness all her own. With a gentle creak, Sophia swung the door open, her attire a simple yet cozy ensemble of jeans and a sweater. Her typical edge dulled. "You made it," she said, gracefully stepping aside to welcome me in. Her apartment exuded a contemporary charm, yet it embraced a cozy warmth. With minimalist furniture and clean lines, the space was adorned with a few personal touches that whispered of life and warmth. It was a revelation, this space of hers, one I had never envisioned, yet it felt perfectly right. As she poured us each a glass of wine, we settled into her cozy living room, engaging in our familiar conversation, just as we always had. Yet on this occasion, it carried a weight unlike before. It was as if we both sensed a truth lingering in the air, unspoken yet palpable between us. In that moment, her gaze met mine. Once upon a time, there was a character named Lucas. There was a quality in her voice that wrapped around my heart, squeezing it tightly. Indeed, there was a moment of pause in her demeanor. "Do you find yourself wishing you had chosen differently?" A shadow crossed my face. "Regret what?" I asked. With a gentle breath, she let the wine dance in her glass. "Us, whatever this is." I leaned in closer. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Sophia. We have yet to unveil the essence of this mystery. She released a soft chuckle, yet there was an underlying hint of unease in it. Such an occurrence was uncommon for her. "I know," she confessed. Yet deep down, we both understand it holds significance. With a gentle clink, I placed my glass upon the table. "Do you wish you could turn back time?" She paused, her silence hanging in the air like a well-crafted suspense, waiting for the right moment to reveal her thoughts. Instead, she gazed at me, truly gazed at me, as if she were weighing the gamble of my worth. At long last, she gave a gentle shake of her head. "No, I don't." I let out a breath I didn't realize I had been holding. "Excellent, for I share the same sentiment." At that moment, a subtle ease washed over her shoulders. "Lucas, this is quite an unusual situation. A boss and an employee." "I understand," I interjected softly, pausing her words with a tender touch. "Yet we have evolved beyond that, haven't we?" For a brief moment, she held her tongue. In that moment, she extended her hand, her fingers lightly grazing against mine. It was a whisper, a mere caress in the air. Yet it sufficed. It was clear to me that whatever we had, whatever this was evolving into, it held a genuine essence. After that night, we were careful. In the realm of work, the tides remained still. We conducted ourselves with utmost professionalism, ensuring everything remained under wraps. Yet beyond the confines of our professional lives, we found ourselves intertwined. It was not a tale of impulsive passion or wild abandon. It unfolded with a deliberate pace, each moment crafted with care. It was a tapestry of stolen moments and whispered conversations woven together in the fabric of time. Whispers of late-night feasts and the gentle chime of morning messages. It was Sophia finally allowing herself to embrace the warmth of another after years of guarding her heart. It was in that moment of clarity, a revelation that washed over me, that I understood I yearned for something genuine once more, something I hadn't felt since my past relationship. A year had passed, and there I was in her apartment, observing her as she brewed coffee in the kitchen. And then it dawned on me. This is the tale of my existence now. I had the career I had worked for, I had the respect I had wanted, and I possessed her. I never could have predicted that getting stuck in an elevator would change my life. But sometimes the moments that seem like nothing at first, they end up meaning everything.